Welcome to Grixis Inverter. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I like it. We're going to keep on this. We have 2 lanes in the hand. We have some early hand destruction, Thoughtseize, and a little bit of way to kind of manipulate our library with Opt. I like it. Let's go and get down the polluted delta. Let's go and crack the polluted delta. And let's go and shock the water. You're going to pay 2 life on this one. Let's go and go for the Thoughtseize, sending this one up top to our opponent. See what they've got cooking in the kitchen. Okay, looks like we're playing against Abzan. Looks like an interesting version of Abzan. Okay, a High Priest of Penance, Night Sky, Mimic. Let's go ahead and take the... Let's go for the Night Mimic, I think. Has base power 4/4. Actually, let's go and take Tide Hollow. I like that. Let's go and take Tide Hollow. That way we don't have to play around that the whole game. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. All right, so we do have Scalding Tarn. We'll get that down next turn. Hopefully we start making our land drops. Once we get that down, we can hopefully go for Jace and start going for the Fate Seal off our opponent's deck. All right, drawn to the Canal. Let's go and get down the Scalding Tarn, because that Canal will come into play untapped next turn. Anything else, no, we're going to go and pass the turn. Now, if we develop a pretty good graveyard, we do have Inverter of Truth. We did see in our opponent's deck, they did get down the Marsh, excuse me, they drew into a Godless Shrine, so they did get down the they still have Marsh Flats in the hand, and they get down Pillar too. Add 1 color, only spin this on a multicolored spell. Now, the thing we have to watch out for is High Priest of Penance. Whenever it's dealt damage, you may destroy target non-land permanent. At this point right now, once they get that down, it is a 1/1. We can wait to go for that. We can kind of go for a 2-for-1 with that Electrolyze. Let's go ahead and grab the Blood Crypt at this point right now. Yeah, let's go for that. Not going to pay 2 life on the Blood Crypt. Let's go for Opt, see what's on top of our library. Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah, I think I like those. Go and put that on top. Typically, we're running about 5 pieces of hand disruption in here, and we usually don't get to see a lot of it. Let's go and get the Canal down, and let's go and go for Inquisition of Kozilek up top. Okay, there we go. And let's go and get this crossed off. 1, 2, 3. Abzan Charm, Edge of Divinity. I guess at this point right now, we probably need to take the Edge of Divinity, because if they put it on the Night Sky Mimic, yeah, let's go and go for that. Okay, get that popped up, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. That's still going to keep it at 2/1. If they cast a spell that's both black and white, we're looking at High Priest of Penance. That's going to turn this Night Sky Mimic into a 4/4, and it's going to gain flying. So if they're going to go for that particular line of play, I actually like that a lot, because that puts us online for Electrolyze to kind of go for a 2-for-1. So we'll see if we can't catch that off our opponent. But they've got a very interesting deck, a multicolored deck. You know, they got Grizzly Salvage in here, so I wonder if there's any sort of graveyard element. I really enjoy Grizzly Salvage. Always one of my favorite cards to cast. Opponent's going to go for Grizzly Salvage. Okay. We'll see what the reveal off of that is. I think it was Abzan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be basically what they revealed would be Abzan Charm, Cabal, Plains, Tide Hollow, and then Marsh Flat. So see if they're going to put a creature or land, what they're going to put into the hand. Let's go and get the chat popped up, actually. See which one they choose to go for. I guess an argument could be made for Cabal, but I think... yeah, I was about to say Tide Hollow would probably be the better option for them to go for. All right, they're going to get the Marsh Flats down. Let's go and cross off the reveal off of that and cross off the Marsh Flats. All right, so it's going to leave their hand at the Grizzly Salvage too. Abzan Charm, High Priest of Penance, and Tide Hollow too. At this point right now, if they're going to go for Tide Hollow, enters the battlefield and exile non-land card from the exile that card. If they go for Tide Hollow, they will be able to take Jace. At this point, though, if we get enough cards in the graveyard, we might be able to go for an Inverter of Truth and start kind of going combat damage that way. We're drawn to Lightning Bolt. Let's go and get the Scalding Tarn down. Yeah, I like that. Let's go ahead and go Scalding Tarn. We can bounce the Night Sky Mimic back to the hand if we want to. Abzan Charm, excuse me, it's going to be exile, target creature, power 3 or greater. No, we don't want to go for Inverter of Truth. I thought Abzan Charm, excuse me, that would not be the best thing for us to go for. Once they go for the Tide Hollow, they'll be able to grab something out of the hand. Yeah, we need to go and get Jace down. Let's go and grab the Steam Vents. Well, actually, if they take Jace, we'll be online for Lightning Bolt to bring it back, or something like Electrolyze. Yeah, let's go and get Jace down. I think I like that. Let's go and shock the Steam Vents in. Yeah, we're going to pay 2 life. Let's go for Jace. And then let's go ahead and go for the... They're going to be able to swing for a 2/1. If they cast Tide Hollow, it's going to make it a 4/4. Let's go ahead and go for the Brainstorm ability. Jace and then Watery Grave. Let's go and put the Watery Grave on top, and then let's go ahead and put the Jace back on top too. Okay, Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. Now, we do have tons of removal in the hand. We've got double Lightning Bolts and Electrolyze. So if our opponent does end up going for Tide Hollow or something like High Priest, at least we'll still have some sort of option to kind of blast those creatures, kind of get them away. But at this point right now, if our opponent kind of muddies the board up with a bunch of creatures, we are sitting at 9, so I wanted to get some stuff moving. But if we can find some sort of way to deal with that Abzan charm, whether we rip into an Inquisition of Kozilek or something like a Snapcaster Mage to turn that online, we can definitely go for that. Opponent's going to get down Tide Hollow Sculler, and they'll see what they're going to take out of our hand off this one. Okay, and they do take the Electrolyze out of our hand. Now, the Night Sky Mimic is a 4/4 from the Tide Hollow cast, but this is a sweet deck from our opponent. I'm really High Priest of Penance K. It's going to get that, cross that off the list too. And it's going to leave 2 cards in the hand, one of them being Abzan Charm. Now, next turn, the Night Sky Mimic will go back to a 2/1. So at least we're online for the Lightning Bolt on Tide Hollow, and then we'll have enough mana to go for the Electrolyze. All right, draw into that Jace. Let's go and go for that line of play. I like that. Let's go for Tide Hollow. That's going to be 1 red. We'll get the Electrolyze back. And then we'll go ahead and blast 2 of those creatures, get some card draw going. Okay, look at that. Oh, look at that value. Okay, and let's go and get the Water Grave. Not going to shock this one in. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So that leaves at least Abzan Charm in the hand. Now that we do draw into that secret, super secret backup copy of Jace, we can at least get down Jace and then still protect it with Lightning Bolt. We might end up going for the Fate Seal option on this one, hopefully to kind of push past our opponent, getting all these little creatures on the battlefield. Okay, our opponent's going to go for Siege Rhino. That is pretty taxing on that one. And the thing with Jace is we don't really want to bounce it back to the hand because they'll get another cast off of that. At this point right now, hopefully we might be able to brainstorm into... but to say, hopefully we can get Gurmag Angler. I was not really wanting to see another copy of Jace. When he's like, hey man, I heard I'm good in Modern again. I want to show up here. Okay, let's go and get down Jace. Let's go and go for the Brainstorm ability. Draw 3 cards, then put Young Pyromancer. Let's see, any certain way we want to sequence this one. Hero's Downfall is actually exactly what we need with Siege Rhino. Let's go ahead and put the Inverter of Truth back on top, and then let's go ahead and put the other copy of Jace on top. Yeah, I think we're okay with that. Let's go ahead and get the Scalding Tarn down. Then anything else. I guess technically if we wanted to, we could crack. Distribute 2/+1 counters among target creatures you control. We do need to get down Young Pyromancer. They're going to be able to swing it for 5, but if we crack off of that one... Yeah, let's just leave it up. Maybe they just swing in at Jace with Siege Rhino. They don't use that Abzan Charm. But at this point right now, if we get down the Young Pyromancer, they're going to be able to put 2/+1 counters on it. 1 or 2 creatures you control, so that will be lethal with them swinging across. So at least we're going to try and represent some sort of counter magic on this one. If we can untap into next turn, we'll have Hero's Downfall to take care of Siege Rhino. But with the Abzan Charm getting the... distribute 2 counters on it with that trample, that's going to be more than enough for them to close it out. But let's see if they see that particular line of play. Okay, opponent is going to go for Abzan Charm. Distribute 2/+1 counters among creatures that you control. Pretty much either way, let's... I doubt they're going to swing in. They might swing in at Jace. I don't know. I just want to make sure. Okay, they are going to swing in at us. That's going to be lethal. Good game to our opponent. I was going to say, maybe they swing in at Jace and we survive, but they did go for the Abzan line of play, so good for them. Now that we have to play around Abzan Charm, what sounds good to bring in this particular matchup? Let's bring in that Disdainful Stroke. That way we can kind of catch those, those Siege Rhinos coming across. Do we want Anger of the Gods in this one? Yeah, I think I do. There's a lot of little creatures out there. Do you want Is It Staticaster 2? I could almost go for Collective Brutality. Instant or sorcery, target creature gets -2/-2. Let's bring in 2 copies of that. Anything else that we want to bring in? Spell Snare would actually really be good in this matchup. We'll be able to catch some stuff off of that. Just the fact that we're playing around a Abzan Charm exiling Inverter of Truth. Let's just go and get rid of Inverter. I still like Hero's Downfall in this one. Kolagon's Command. I'm pretty sure that Tide Hollow is an artifact, I think. So we'll at least be able to catch it off the Kolagon's Command. I like having the Young Pyromancers in here. At this point right now, let's go ahead and sort by converted mana cost. We need to cut it down. Let's go and back off the Murderous Cut. Yeah, I think I like that. We'll still leave in the Gurmag Angler. It's going to be a good way for us to stop the Siege Rhino from coming across. Let's go ahead and back off 1 op. Let's back off the... Yeah, I like the Inquisition of Kozilek. I still like the Lightning Bolt. Let's go and back off the double Electrolyze, and let's back off 1 more Thought Scour. There we go. All right, let's go and submit this one over to Game 2. Okay, welcome back to Game 2. As far as our opening hand goes, we've got some good options. We have Opt, Thought Scour, Spell Snare. We're gonna be able to catch some stuff. Do we want to risk it? Yeah, we don't really. We need to hit the land. Hopefully, we get lucky with between Opt. Yeah, we're going to keep on this one. You know, we've got a turn 2 play to catch their 1-drop. I mean, excuse me, their 2-drop. So going to get these Spire. I think that last sentence didn't really make sense. At least we have Spell Snare to counter their whatever 2-drops are going to get out. Let me rephrase it that way. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then we have Thought Scour and Opt to go for some sort of cantrip. So I think we'll kind of make this one work. Let's go ahead and, since we're working towards that Gurmag Angler, do we want to go for Opt to get the Scry or simply just go for Thought Scour? Yeah, let's go and go for Thought Scour. Maybe we rip into a fetch land or something like that. And then we draw into Spire Bluff Canal. Let's go and get that one down. And then anything else, we're going to pass the turn. So we made the land drop. Unfortunately, we did hit Young Pyromancer and a Kolaghan's Command in the graveyard. With us running Thought Scour, one of the things that we run is Kolaghan's Command to kind of bring these creatures back out of the graveyard. Opponent's going to go for Tide Hollow. Let's go for Spell Snare off that one. Oh, Spell Snare always feels so good. Catching those 2-drops. Darkslick Shores, we'll put that on top in a heartbeat. Okay. Here we go. I feel a lot better about this one. This can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We will be online for Gurmag Angler. I like going for that. Let's go and get that down. And actually, I think we should have gotten down the Darkslick Shores a little bit. I wanted to add one more card to the graveyard, but I think the better line would have been to get down Darkslick Shores. That way it puts us online for Jace next turn. Let's go and shock the Watery Grave. We're going to pay 2 life on this one. Let's go for Gurmag. It's going to be black, and we need to delve 6 out of the graveyard. I think on this one, let's go and leave up Snapcaster and get rid of 4 cards. We'll go Scalding Tarn, Opt, Thought Scour, and then one more. I guess at this point, I'm going to get rid of the Young Pyromancer. Okay. There we go. That way we did draw into Snapcaster Mage. At least we're still online for Spell Snare and the Kolaghan's Command. But yeah, probably would have been a little bit better to go for Darkslick Shores. I mean, we would have had to exile one more card out of the, or at least 2 more cards out of the graveyard. So at least this way we kind of maintain some sort of a little bit of a graveyard presence. That way we can apply some pressure to our opponent with this Gurmag Angler swinging in. Okay, opponent's going to go for Abzan Charm. Exile target creature with power 3 or greater. Yeah, that's fine. Spend 3 mana on that one. And then let's see if we rip into that land. Draw into Steam Vents. Wonderful. Let's go and shock the Steam Vents in. Let's go and go for Jace. That's going to be double blue. And then we'll be able to get down the Darkslick Shores next turn. And in fact, let's go and go for the +2. Our opponent doesn't have any creatures out there. High Priest. Yes, we'll definitely put that. No, we'll leave that on top. Put it on the bottom. No. Okay. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So that's going to be High Priest. I'm going to grab my my pin off this one. I always want to kind of keep track of whatever their draw steps are. That way we're not surprised when something comes down. But yeah, this is a pretty sweet deck by our opponent. And this is one, you know, I am recording in the tournament practice room. One of the reasons for that is you get to see some pretty cool decks from time to time, and to get to play against this Abzan, you know, creature deck, it's pretty sweet. So that was High Priest was in our opponent's hand, and they will grab that Terminate off the Tide Hollow entering the battlefield. And they're going to follow it up with a Night Sky Mimic. Okay. And we draw into Polluted Delta. At this point, they're going to be able to swing in for 4 if they simply cast a multicolored spell. They're going to be able to take care of Jace on this one. We do have a Polluted Delta to kind of go for the fetch. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go for the Brainstorm ability. Thought Scour and Lightning Bolt. Let's go and put the Darkslick Shores back. Let's go and put the island back too. Let's go and get down the Polluted Delta. If we go for Lightning Bolt on Tide Hollow, that's going to be Terminate on Night Sky Mimic. I think I like that. Let's go for the Lightning Bolt on Tide Hollow. We'll get the card back to the hand. Let's still put us online for Thought Scour to go for that. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So that way, we're at least going to force them to cast some sort of spell that's black and white. If they do go for that enchantment on Night Sky Mimic, and man, this card's really weird looking. I've been looking at it the whole game, and it's just really bizarre to me. All right, we're going to go for Terminate in response to that. There we go. Target creature can't be regenerated. Destroy that creature. And then, even if they did have Abzan Charm or something, let's see if they got some sort of response off this one. Abzan Charm, return target creature. All right. And it actually works out with the Orzhov Charm and all auras you control attached to it. That's actually pretty sweet, because they do have the double white-black creature. All right. Terminate's going to fizzle. Night Sky turns into basically nothing because it's back to the hand. Opponent will get down a High Priest of Penance. Let's go and crack the Polluted Delta. Let's grab another black source. Let's grab that Watery Grave. Do we actually want to grab the... we're okay on blue mana. Let's grab a Blood Crypt. Not going to pay 2 on this one. And let's go and go for the Thought Scour, targeting ourselves. Drawn to Young Pyromancer. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. And let's see what we draw to. Drawn to a Steam Vents. Let's go and get down Young Pyromancer. Let's go for the brainstorm first, actually. Oh, beautiful. Let's go and put these steam vents on top. And then we are at 14. I'd really like to just shred our opponent's hand. So I'm just going to put the steam vents on top and then Jace back on top. Let's go for Young Pyromancer. That sounded kind of heartless. Let's go for Thoughtseize. They get down the elemental token. The Knights. Let's get rid of the High Priest of Penis. And then let's go and go for the Inquisition of Kozilek. Get another elemental token down on the battlefield. Get rid of that Night Sky Mimic. Okay, that still leaves Lightning Bolt. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. All right. Now, we are kind of in this weird holding pattern with High Priest of Penis. Whenever it's dealt damage, you may destroy target non-land permanent. So that's going to leave them open for Young Pyromancer and Jason Mind Sculptor. An opponent will go for Tide Hollow at this point right now. Do we want to... We can get another elemental token. Let's do this. That way there's not another blocker on the battlefield. Let's just go for Lightning Bolt on Tide Hollow. This is going to give us another elemental token. We can keep brainstorming with Jace to hopefully kind of get into spots where we get enough of a board state where we can push past this High Priest of Penis, or we don't really have to carry about it out there. At this point right now, if we swing it with the Young Pyromancer, the elemental tokens, they're going to be immediately trading with Jace on that one. Well, we could go and force the issue on this one with the super secret backup Jace. Let's go and do that. Let's go and swing it with the elemental tokens. That's going to be 3 coming in. If we see the High Priest crack, that's going to be Jace, and we'll be able to recast Jace off that one. Okay. I guess if they wanted to, they could go for a Young Pyromancer, but more than likely, we're going to see Jace. Yep, there we go. I'm going to take care of Jace, and we draw into Super Secret Backup Jace. Let's go and get down Super Secret Backup Jace. And then tap out for one more. I'll go and leave up the, let's go for the, yeah, our opponent has no cards. Let's go and go for the Fate Seal at this point right now. No, we will not put that on the bottom. That's going to be a forced on top, and then we're going to go and pass the turn. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, as far as Jace goes, I'm really excited it's in Modern. You know, it's kind of one of those things that, you know, you look at Jeskai control or blue-white control, opponent's going to scoop it up. They say, hey, that's enough. Getting the Fate Seal going, that's enough for us. Anything that we want to bring in, I think I like the same. I still like Anger of the Gods. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it that way. Let's submit this one over to Game 3. Okay, welcome back to Game 3. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I think I like this. You know, we do have a fetch. We have 2 fetch lands. We have Lightning Bolt to kind of take care of anything. Yeah, we're going to keep on this one. There we go, keep. Ugh, I cannot tell you how many times I've gone to record, and I'm like, I want to keep, and then I just smash that mulligan button like there's no tomorrow. I don't know why. But Jace. I'm really excited Jace is unbanned because it kind of gives you know, control decks a way to close the game out that's not, you know, it's annoying to lose to Jace to that Fate Seal, but at least it gives it that option. You know, in the past where you just had to get, you just had to play just like really tight, and not that you shouldn't get rewarded for playing really tight, but it was just, you're almost at a disadvantage if you're playing control for the most part, just because it wasn't in really in any of the tiers. Let's go and get down Dark Slick Shores. Let's go for the Inquisition of Kozilek. And it's going to be Kambal and then Pillar. All right, so we're off to a pretty good start. Let's take that Kambal and let's get their hand popped up. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. All right, opponent's going to scoop it up on this one. I'm still going to go and post this video up because we had some pretty good matches prior to this and ended up having a lot of fun in this particular matchup. You know, Game 1, they took the Siege Rhino. Game 2, we ended up getting Jace down. And then Game 3, you know, them having 3 lands on the battlefield, we're going to be able to get down Gurmag Angler pretty quick and start swinging in. So, unfortunately, scoops like that do happen, but Kambal was pretty much going to be their only game plan. So, once we took it off the Inquisition of Kozilek, we were in a pretty good spot to go from there. But let's kind of see what else was kind of hanging out on top of our... Oh, opponent scooped it up, so we can't actually look what we drew into. But if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.